This is definitely going to be a good one. A lot of potential fireworks, mainly because we have absolutely no idea what NickOnAura are bringing to the table. But I will say, this is a pretty important match, mainly because this is a money match. Whoever wins this matchup right here guarantees themselves top 4. They will be in that automatic spot in the semifinals for tomorrow. So this right here is huge. If you're NickOnAura, you win one series on the day, you're guaranteed $2,000.
I mean, that's the most like skamazed way to get into a Champ Sunday. As a
hey, cue me up. One series? Like, let me try.
Yeah. Honestly, at that point, I mean, it just couldn't be working out more in their favor right now. But they look great. Crazy ground pinch there from Kofer. Stopped on the goal line by Wavy. But NickOnAura already coming out, swinging from the fences. Follow-ups galore. Bumps even more out on the field. And TSM just kind of a little bit in a scramble to finally get out of their half. But even at that, NickOnAura, they actually look really good.
Yeah, we'll say that NickOnAura definitely looks solid to start things off. TSM haven't been able to get into their groove just quite yet, but Wavy, maybe, okay, I say that, and then Wavy immediately hits a nasty double, so yeah, maybe I'll just uncaster curse this one.
Holy, I mean, doing that on Novus too, just enough to give yourself the second touch is nuts. So TSM first on the board, a couple potential caster curses coming through on this one. A minute in and a 1-goal lead to TSM. But the bigger question is who's going to be responding first for NickOnAura and when?
That's right. Now they're on the way down, on the hunt. This TSM trying to find that second, but the clear comes through regardless. And now it's going to be up to Wavy to get it past the offensive pressure, but still in the TSM half. NickOnAura are doing a solid job of giving themselves chances, and now probably their best look so far. Off the backboard, but this one gets sent to the side as Hockey is there waiting in the wings, and there we go. Oh my goodness, no, barely off the post. And heading back the other way is Wavy. Oh, if you're NickOnAura, you're gonna feel awful about this one. You had it perfectly set up, and then the counterattack comes through, and literally one touch later, you find yourself down 0-2.
That's rough, but I gotta give props up to Wavy off that one to doink it in like that with the accuracy from that far away is pretty insane. 2-0 already for TSM, looking again to just redeem themselves as far as their past records have been for a little while now. And the demos, though, are going to start to come through. And I expected this at some point. I just didn't know when it was going to come out. Appjack, though, to clear this out into the corner here. Wavy waiting to meet him past one, but not past Kofer, as this 150's back.
Appjack is a pretty interesting player. Do you feel like his style has changed much in the last year? Because I feel like it has a little bit.
Individually, I wouldn't really say, but I think as a team, I mean, obviously Appjack's coming in from Gen G with the move. There's been a couple of pretty notable moves that I think forces his playstyle to move around, but he's always really been that solid third that really lets those first two go up and do their thing, and then he's that solid follow-up that you know you can rely on. Like you see him there already trying to set up Kofer a little bit, but yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think with the Nolly to first killer transfer, it's forced him to play a little bit differently. Honestly, pace of play was probably the biggest difference with everything. I feel like he's a lot faster. Unfortunately, just not fast enough on this one as Hockey finds his way through.
Are you kidding me? Wavy with a beautiful pass, and Hockey finds the angle. That was nutty right there. Off the side, my goodness. I mean, TSM, we said it, they look clean earlier, and they look exceptional in this game number one, but we have seen how game number ones do not tell the tale for how the rest. Okay, I was about to say, there's no way Wavy's gonna hit that. They do not tell the tale for how the rest of the series is definitively gonna go. So NickOnAura, you're not out of this yet. It's a rough start for sure, but there's still plenty of time to even come back in this game.
Oh, for sure. They definitely could find their footing a little bit. But like I said, this is a pickup team versus a roster that's been together for quite some time. We've got 3 different play styles, 3 different orgs, 3 different players, right, on NickOnAura. So it is, of course, it's meant to be for fun. The DQ coming through just adds to the memes a little bit here. But TSM, they are coming in full force and swinging. Hockey tries to double that one off the back and float it in. It's going to be completely denied by Kofer there. A minute 15, it might be too little too late, at least for this game 1.
A full boost on the defensive end for Creams, looking to make sure that he's on that line and not let anything through. Exactly what's going to happen here is Wavy and him holding the line. NickOnAura putting in a lot of pressure on the offensive end. Kofer didn't find the opening in the defense. Solid attempt either way from him. Hockey trying to get the clear now, sending it to the middle, a little bit of a center, but the communication was there, so they knew they were able to get a touch to it. Now with 40 seconds remaining, NickOnAura have to create an opportunity out of this one, or else it's going to be all she wrote, and it's Appjack up high, but denied by Hockey.
Not too bad, though. They are getting closer and closer and at least being able to take a few more shots than before. But this one, 50's back. You saw Creams already lurking up so far. That's such an awkward touch. That could have turned into a pass, unfortunately for them. But 3-0, not a bad way to enter these last 15 seconds here. Appjack just bobbing and weaving around the defense, but nobody is going to let him through. Instead, the clock is going to wind down, and TSM are going to take game number 1 of the series.
Yeah, and doing it in dominating fashion. They'll add one on for the road because why not? 4-0, and right now NickOnAura, yes, they were a squad that, you know, did kind of get put together in a little bit of a scrap, giving up a few goals against Dignitas. So really, TSM on the day, even though it's against a pickup squad, they are playing really solid and looking to punch their ticket into the semifinals for tomorrow. And if you're NickOnAura, you got a free ride to tomorrow at least, because you did win your first series. So at the end of the day, you know, at least you'll have tomorrow to bounce back from if you do go down here. But there's plenty of time, and we've seen plenty of comebacks in series before.
Oh yes, there definitely is still time. I don't completely count out NickOnAura, but I would need to see something in this game in particular. Otherwise, I think it's fair to call it a little shocked. Hockey to the backboard, no space, but still manages to make 2 doubles. The follow-ups are just pouring in from TSM, and they are just building on the pressure. Eventually, it is too much for NickOnAura to compete with, and they find their way through.
Yeah, right now TSM are just a well-oiled machine. Yeah, wow, Hockey could just find that little bit of daylight, and Appjack couldn't get the clear. Ends up sending it into his own goal with no other chance to do anything else with it. Now Aris looking to get past one. The TSM still solid on the plays. Hockey with the defensive hold and the nice challenge to keep this one at bay for NickOnAura. And big center comes in, and that's what NickOnAura need, is some type of life. Kofer able to get one.
Appjack, though, off the ceiling. That was just a really solid pass in a great spot there from Kofer as well to anticipate. This is what I was talking about. There's going to be these moments where you're going to see NickOnAura and you're going to be like, whoa, they actually could be miles ahead of TSM at times. It's just a matter of kind of getting into that routine. But as time goes on, the thing that is going to be a challenge for TSM is NickOnAura will be getting more and more time with each other against you, and that means they're learning more about you. So tied game, a minute 47 on the clock. TSM gonna try and get back into this one and reclaim their lead as Wavy stops this one in the ceiling. His touch falls into the hands of Appjack.
Hockey now with the center, and that's, oh my goodness. This is incredible. This was a centered clear on his own defensive half. Knew his teammate was gonna be there. No, he didn't get the touch, but he went for the challenge and it set it up perfectly. Like that right there just is great defense right there. A perfect challenge. NickOnAura, they send it right to the middle, and the defense is there to get the clear directly into the wide open net. And I mean, it doesn't get better than that. TSM are finding a lot of great plays right now as a squad.
Yeah, they definitely are finding opportunities that are being handed to them. That's unfortunate on NickOnAura that just completely centered itself to a TSM player. But hey, you know what? Right place, right time on rotations. You take every shot opportunity that you are given. Kofor reset over one, pass over to Jack, completely denied by Creams off this. And TSM gonna try and get back into this one, but NickOnAura, they've done much better as time has gone on to really slow down a lot of these challenges and these 50s that are coming their way and turning them into quick counters. Appjack over one, goal line save there from Wavy as he entered the second half of this game. They now only trail by one.
Scary moments here. If you're NickOnAura, you have to shut this squad and TSM down from here on out. That's what it feels like if you want to pick up this victory in game number 2. Creams with a nice center, but sent away. Nobody's there to get the touch, and still TSM find themselves putting a lot of pressure onto NickOnAura. What's the aura looking like right now? It's looking a little bit timid on the defensive end because TSM still putting on a great offensive show. And NickOnAura just having to find some way to get it out of their half. Finally, they do. It would seem like a long time, and I say that, but for 2 seconds, it's right back to TSM attacking.
Yep, it just has been TSM matching the energy they're being given. I know NickOnAura are trying their hardest right now, and I do not by any means think that they are beating themselves up over this right now. It's more TSM's game with all the pressure on them to perform, because I will be honest, with TSM right now, everything, like I stated before, is a little bit of a redemption arc for them. So even falling to a pickup team would be pretty rough. Maybe not necessarily on the mental, but just like a rough thing to have to accept in general. You'd probably be a little bit frustrated. So a 1-goal lead for this long isn't that bad. You definitely do want to extend on it if possible, but for now, a 1-goal lead headed into that last minute is not looking too bad.
Creams with the center. 1 minute left on the clock for Nick to try to tie this one up, and Creams back on the defense yet again with the save, keeping NickOnAura at bay. The bump attempt comes out, but the defense wins out the challenge. Now it's all the way up to NickOnAura. You got 40 seconds left. Are we going to see you go into a 2-0 deficit, or are you going to be able to battle back from this potential hole that you're finding yourselves in? Oh man, scary times again for NickOnAura. As TSM applying pressure, doing a solid job of getting behind that second man and turned it into a one-on-one scenario one more time.
Oh my, and that pressure still continues to go. Right now, TSM, they just throw themselves at the net, but a pass and play could end it all here. Great stop there from Creams, the demo, and thankfully a clear allows TSM to hold on to their lead. Follow up from Wavy, a little bit slow there, but he takes it to the backboard, hoping for that third one. And Appjack wanted another chance, but this ball gets killed. TSM of a flow state at times, and that's really been a difference maker, whether it's against a Dignitas squad that you've faced off against so many times, or it's a pickup team mixed with a bunch of people that you've gone up against before. TSM just really are holding their own, and they've got one more to try and close things out.
Ooh, man, Creams almost able to do it by his lonesome, but Hockey gets the follow-up. If the first try doesn't work, the second might not either, but the third for sure will. Hockey with the beautiful cleanup right there.
Yeah, that was a great one there. Of course, you're going to want to get anything you can off the rip. Each time TSM have been able to score first, they take the series. They look good doing it. So keeping that same energy consistent has really just set them apart. Again, a lot of people probably put a couple question marks on them. I think still individually, NickOnAura are a really incredible team. I mean, Eris and Kofor in particular are the two that my eyes have kind of been on to see if they can step up and really just create something for this squad offensively, but they have just been held back so much. And I think TSM knew that the name of the game was going to be defense and then take an opportunity if given, but that's a nasty redirect off the crossbar, immediately transitioned out.
I mean, a great chance for sure, and now heading back the other way. Going to be TSM. This is going to be spooky for NickOnAura. NickOnAura. Appjack gets the save. Scary times, but heading back the other way just for a literal millisecond as it touches the midfield line and immediately heads back into the NickOnAura half. TSM doing a great job of applying pressure.
Yeah, they look really good right now. As time is going on, like I said, you're going to learn a little bit more about this team that you're against, especially when you're a pickup squad. That's kind of the name of the game. Just micro-adjusting in real time, doing the best that you can to kind of keep up. But for now, TSM just a little bit too much for Jack, Kofer, and Eris. As Creams carries this one over, gets stopped in his tracks in the mid here, and Appjack on no boost tries to take it around. Everybody on NickOnAura is just trying to take 150 at a time to inch towards that net, but it's just not enough. Kofer's gonna try and lock Creams in a 1v1, and nobody, not even him, can turn that into an actual shot opportunity.
Yeah, said no thank you for the Rule 1. Gonna dip out of that one, and rightfully so. NickOnAura 0-1, maybe this is it. No, wide left from apparently Jack. Looking to slot it in, but oh man, holding it at the line is Creams. My goodness, Creams.
I don't know. Even when they look a little bit rough, they still look better. Second half of the game officially underway right here. It's a 1-goal lead for TSM as they look to try and sweep NickOnAura from the corner. Hockey gonna just show himself and try and take those quick challenges. And Creams, he spots Wavy, pass down over to one, takes this over into the corner. Maybe just a little bit awkward and not quite the touch he would have wanted, but instead the same gets hidden back. It's a pass and play and a dunk for NickOnAura to tie things up.
Kofer finds this one as Jack serves it up for him. Hockey couldn't get the full clear, did get a touch onto it, but it wasn't nearly enough to take it off of its trajectory. And now we got ourselves an all tied up game as an equalizer's found.
1-1. Kofer looking to spot Eris and turn this into a 2-1. Jack's touch goes out into the corner, pops it up to himself, gets it taken away. And at the mid, stopped and sent back. Kofer to the backboard. Bumped off the play, though, in its entirety, but does the same back over to Creams, except recovery just a little bit better. Demo opens up a path, free shot. If one wants to take, Hockey does, wow. But Kofer, it's sent off entirely, and these demos are starting to come through a little bit more frequently on both ends of the field, which could be dangerous for TSM in the attempt to try and regain their lead.
Yeah, getting that lead a little bit more extended in this game would do massive things for TSM. Would set them up for an enormous amount of comfortability the rest of this way. Because right now I'm sure that they are very much on pins and needles. This NickOnAura roster has shown that they probably be able to come back in this one. Doesn't matter about how much time left is on the clock. As long as there's not 0 seconds, there's a chance. And this roster definitely believes that they can win it here before without forcing that potential overtime.
This one falls over to apparently Jack there, gets stopped in midfield. Wavy having to take 2 challenges at a time. Finally gets cleared out by Creams. He's got to try and meet this one in the air. He does. It just goes from one end to the other, though. And TSM, there's been these moments where I think that they want to play, the aggressive game. Unfortunately for them, it's almost over-aggressive, and there's a couple double commits that are starting to come through. That makes me a little nervous for this team right now. 30 seconds in a center. Slow roller completely denied off by Appjack. And Wavy's going to try and turn around on no boost. Does get a second touch, although Eris will clear this one completely upfield, and TSM gotta prepare for the pressure that's about to go their way.
Only a few seconds left. Are we gonna see another 0-second goal? Wavy looked for the challenge, not able to find it, but Creams is up, sends it right back to him. The center's there, oh! Not able to get under it. My goodness, TSM almost did it. They almost did it at the 0-second mark. Wait, Wavy's with a 1v1. Is he going to be able to win it out, though? Oh, my goodness, up, and away! Oh, left it off for Creams, who isn't able to convert. Hockey up high again. But nothing good going to come out of this for now. If you're TSM, defense is on point from NickOnAura, and now you have to watch out for the counterattack if you are TSM. Oh, that was spooky.
It definitely is an insane amount of pressure on both ends of the field right now for people to keep up with. Jack's trying to make a center over to himself, completely sent off. Kofor up next. Great save there from Creams, keeping TSM in this one. Hockey by his lonesome as Eris is the one to collect. And you see the challenge. It's a miss. And instead, NickOnAura get to go on the attack around the corner, around one. But really, Creams has done such a great job of taking this ball back and clearing it as much as he can. The difference, though, is TSM really need to prioritize keeping this ball just a little bit closer. And this could be it. This one cleared out into the corner here. TSM's pressure not going to stop off the ceiling, down and out.
Yeah, so many close calls already in this one. Defensive ends for both squads are scrambling. Creams able to boot this one all the way down. Hockey with a solid touch to the middle, but does get broken up by Nick. I'll be able to read some of these challenge attempts correctly, and that's a good one as Hockey gets the save. To be able to guide this one back to the other side. Not quite yet. NickOnAura putting on all the pressure. The demo comes out. Maybe that could be it. No! A heroic save comes in for Creams when they needed it the absolute most. That was almost the opportunity to send us to a game 4. Hockey with a shot now. Ends up getting saved out by Jack. Oh my goodness. We've got some fireworks to potentially end this one. 2 minutes in. Neither squad able to find it quite yet, but you can feel it coming.
You definitely can. The pressure is for sure building up onto NickOnAura here, and it has been for a while. They finally get to relieve that with a couple of attempts of their own, but completely stopped in their tracks. Pass over to Wavy. This one stopped by apparently Jack, but followed up by another by Hockey as this one falls back into that blue side there. Low boost for TSM, though, has been a little nerve-wracking, in my opinion, watching them trying to defend these shots from NickOnAura. They got to play the patient game. You don't want to overextend because a lot of these big clears have been on target. And Hockey out to no man's land means it's going to get taken away by Kofor. He's got a lot of boost to work with. Reset, not past one, instead sent back, and Appjack's up next in rotation to keep it going. But 3 minutes on the clock here. It has pretty much been stalemated in terms of finding an opportunity. This is one of the better ones, and it's sent off by Hockey.
Yeah, I thought that could have been it for sure, but no. One more time. Another big denial. Does come out. Are we heading back the other way? Looks like we are. Okay, Creams to the side. Can he get the redirect to the middle? No, not able to get a solid enough one. Now it's up to Wavy. Wavy gets the demo. It's a double demo, though, so both sides going to reset, essentially. And wow, I mean, it's almost like this game is starting over the way that we are so even in this overtime. Both of these squads are just playing super defensive, playing safe, not sorry.
Yeah, there's definitely been moments where, like, you see them play the patient game, but as soon as either of them ends up on their on the opposition's end of the field, they just go straight to level 10 and start trying to throw as many follow-up shots as possible over and over. And you can see right here, right? Creams and them, it's a little bit slower. And then as soon as Hockey comes, this is where the follow-ups ensue. Double off the backboard, sent off by apparently Jack, but TSM to keep that pressure going. For the time being, it's a pass and play clear from NickOnAura to break into that blue half. As Creams takes his time, low on boost around one, flick to the pass over to Wavy, way too wide to take the shot, and Hockey up next, low on boost, and TSM forced to retreat.
Wow, almost a whole extra game we are at in this overtime right now. Neither squad budging, neither one giving an inch in this series. NickOnAura are fighting for their upper bracket lives. They want to automatically advance to that semifinal. Yes, they already are going to be in the quarterfinals, but they want to make sure they get as far as possible through Saturday into Sunday. And if they're able to do that right here, it would take a massive comeback. But in order to start that comeback, you got to get one on the board when you need it the most. And right now is when you need it. Oh my goodness, no. I thought Creams could have had it, but yet again, just barely off as this one hits the post.
just a dummy amount of pressure, and now it's building up on the other side. But both of these teams have had very few opportunities to take a decent shot, and then when TSM finally gets one, the pressure builds up too much, it goes off post, and then they got to try again. And NickOnAura, individually on the defense, they are great. They definitely can hold their own. So this could go a while, because same can be said for both sides. Kofor getting challenged by Wavy, bumped off the play. Shot, though, not going to beat out, apparently, Jack. And as we approach 6 minutes of overtime, TSM are the ones on the attack. Hockey's going to send it low, double commit to keep it out, but at least it's saved. And NickOnAura get to defend for a few more moments.
I mean, hanging on by the skin of their teeth right now. TSM are hunting, lurking, waiting for their opportunity. Could this be it? No, yet again. I mean, every single time it just feels like there is no overcommittal on either side. Nobody wants to overcommit, which totally makes sense, you know, in this type of situation. But as a viewer, you want them to go for it, you know? And is this going to be it? No, wide to the left on the clear. Oh, man. That almost feels like that's going to be the best bet. Oh, as I say that, I'm getting a goal scored, but Wavy absolutely slots this one into the upper 90, and my goodness, put some power behind it, a little bit of accuracy, and nobody on the side of NickOnAura could put a hand.